nice. By the way, and this is being recorded, Tom Wilson is a thug. Right? I'll put that on record anytime.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you. We're very welcome.
I am kind of glad you shared that. There we go. All right. There we go. That's my night in a nutshell.
Hey,
All right,
Claire,
people.
is your mother home? Yeah. Turn the back light on because I can't see. Never.
All right, friends. About 30 seconds, I would imagine. Maybe less.
Friends. Romans.
And Bob, if you're letting us hear the station, we don't hear it.
James Dolan quote, "We want to thank JD and Jeff for their contributions. They're both great professionals." What the hell?
Casting fee and the opinions expressed during the show are not necessarily those of the staff, management, or ownership of WGCH Radio.
I almost don't want to talk over the music. Listen to it. It is Cinco de Mayo. And welcome to the Clubhouse on 1490 AM, 105.5 FM, and WGCH.com. I'm Rob Adams because I've got to roll my R on Cinco de Mayo. My partner of all these many years, Mark Jeffers, is located in his lovely abode. Mark, good evening.
Well, hello, Rob, and happy Cinco de Mayo to you as well. And again, if we're on radio, but I'm wearing a lovely shirt to celebrate the holiday. So I want to, everyone to know that. And I want to bring in David, who's been in a wonderful backdrop. Again, his backdrop is very festive. So Dave, what's going on? How are you?
All right, pal. Lovely is certainly subjective, and I don't know if I would use that adjective, but you are wearing a shirt.
Hold on, you look swell. How's that sound?
You look swell, buddy.
Got a great show tonight, guys. We've got a special guest, Janet Liscatorino, which I'm sure I've already messed up her name, from the Westchester Walk to End Alzheimer's, is going to join us shortly. We've got our good friend, Rob Labritz, the director of golf at Glen Arbor, to talk a little bit about the golf world. And my favorite TV sports anchor, Andy Adler, will be joining us from PIX 11 to talk a little bit about the New York sports scene. So that, in a nutshell, is what we got, Rob.
There you have it. Away we go for a very busy edition of this Clubhouse tonight. Looking forward to it, Mark.
Well, there you go. So without further ado, I would like to welcome Janet Liscatorino, and well, tell me about that. From the Westchester Walk to End Alzheimer's. Welcome to the Clubhouse, Janet. How bad did I mess up your last name?
Not too bad. It's thank you for having me. First of all, thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak to everyone tonight. My name is Janet Liscatorino. And Feliz Cinco de Mayo to everyone. Happy to be here. And I am the co-chair for the Westchester Walk to End Alzheimer's. And as many of you may know, Alzheimer's is a disease that is affecting many. And actually more than 5.8 million Americans have Alzheimer's disease. Many may not talk about it or know much about it, but it is the 6th leading cause of death, with someone being diagnosed 65 seconds, every 65 seconds between 2002 and 2017. Deaths from heart disease declined by 9%, while deaths from Alzheimer's increased by 145%. We are here to support the community as well as face the growing public health crisis. We actually
can you tell our audience a little bit about, because this year I think you're going to return to the in-person walks And can tell, I know there's one at SUNY Purchase on Sunday, October 3rd, but can you tell our audience a little bit about the walks that are happening this year?
Absolutely. I was just going to talk actually about the walk. Not only will we be walking in person, but we still have the opportunity and the option to walk in smaller groups. We will be walking on Sunday, October 3rd at SUNY Purchase. We still will have the walk. Aside from the walk in Westchester, there are still 4 other walks that can be joined. Orange Sullivan is one of the walks. You also have Rockland, Dutchess, Ulster, and you have Putnam Walk as well. So it is a great event for everyone to get out there and support Alzheimer's and give us, a prep every day as we walk together in unity.
Absolutely. In fact, my family as a team, and we walked in the Putnam Walk a number of times. 2 years ago when we walked in the Westchester one, which I think you passed us at one point. But our team's the Well Diggers. My father died from Alzheimer's, so we have a personal connection as well. And I know that you've also had a family connection. Tell our audience a little bit about some of the services that Alzheimer's does.
Absolutely. We offer services that include care consultations, virtual education programs, virtual social programs, virtual memory cafes we offer. And actually all of them the topics were all during the pandemic, they were still 24/7 going on virtually. Phone calls, we were always open for everyone virtually. There was never a moment that anyone couldn't reach out to us to get assistance.
And I also understand from our friend Dugan that there's a special event happening on Tuesday, May 11th. Can you tell our audience a little bit about that?
Absolutely. You are referring to the Hudson Valley chapter. We'll be hosting a virtual Alzheimer's Research Forum from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Tuesday, May 11th. 3 dementia researchers will take place at the latest advances in research, and participants will be able to get their questions answered during questions and answers. This event will also include a presentation on COVID-19 and caregiving. To register, you can call 1-800-272-3900, or you can also visit online at alz.org/Hudson Valley as all for information.
And the next day,
and
there's even another event going on May 12th. Can you tell us a little bit about that as well?
Absolutely. On Wednesday, May 12th, there will also be an event from 6 to 7 p.m. This will also include a rare dementia discussion hosted by Young Alzheimer's Professional Council, an auxiliary board of the Alzheimer's Association Hudson Valley chapter. This event will feature 4 speakers who will discuss lesser known and often misdiagnosed causes of dementia as well.
Wow, that sounds like a big schedule coming up. And can you tell our audience a little bit more of where they can reach for more information on the Hudson Valley Alzheimer's Association?
Absolutely. To register or to visit, you can go to alzheimer's.org/YPARC dementia discussion, or you can always call the 1-800-272-3900 for information.
Well, thank you so much for joining us here on the Clubhouse. It's an important cause, and the Clubhouse here, we very much support the Alzheimer's, especially in Hudson Valley. So thank you so much for joining us on the Clubhouse. Big round of applause for Janet. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. And everyone have a good evening and enjoy the Cinco de Mayo.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Take
Janet.
care. Bye-bye.
Right. I heard a rumor, by the way, that Rob Labritz is sitting in the, I guess he's like in the bullpen.
That would make sense. And we can always go to the right-hander.
Oh, there you go.
That is true. Break first and then, or how do you want to handle it?
I think we should bring him right on.
Proceed. We shall proceed then.
We can do that. We have the technology.
We do
have the technology.
He is smiling. He is
Mr. Labritz here. There's that smiling face on radio. You know, he often had a good face for radio. I often said that.
Yeah, one that you can't see. It's great. Woo-hoo.
There you go. Well, I had to do my introduction, Rob. I spent all day writing this. It is with grand pleasure to introduce our good friend, PGA Pro Rob Labritz, who is the director of golf at Glen Arbor Golf Club in Bedford Hills, and a dear friend of the clubhouse. Welcome back, Rob Labritz, and game on, my friend,
Game on, baby. Doing great. Thank you for having me on, Mark and crew. How's everybody doing?
Good?
Everybody's good. We're just
yeah.
getting Logan down, our new 15-week-old, to take a little bit of a nap, and then we can take a nap.
See, I was just in our pre-production meeting. I was just telling the team here about that, but so I have two things to congratulate you on, and one you've already messed up my copy, but that's okay, Rob. I still love you. Congrats and best wishes to you and Carrie for the newest addition to the Labritz family, baby Logan. And you just said she's doing well and the family's doing well.
Yeah, everybody's great. Thanks. Sorry to mess up your intro.
That's all right. You know what? You're not the first person.
Yeah, we've got. Looks like we got
Talk about the family is once again you're qualifying for the PGA Championship on May 20th at the Ocean Course at Kiawah Island and that's unbelievable. Congratulations.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Yeah, appreciate that. Number 8, feeling great. Hopefully it'll end with me making no 8s out on that golf course and having a good time and finishing under par.
How do you prepare for the PGA? I mean, you've done it so much, but yet, you got another one coming up and it's in a few weeks. How do you mentally prepare? How does that go?
Mark, I've been preparing for this my entire golf career. Golf for me is it's just a lifestyle. It's a way of life. I'm a hybrid. I'm a hybrid player. I'm a player, coach, business owner, business runner, so I do it all. So how do I prepare? I block a little more time off now to put my sticks in my hand more, play a little bit more. We just played an event this week. Didn't fare too well. I got beaten the third round. My putter was kind of letting me down a little bit, but and my opponent played very solid golf. So, just grinded away. I'll get my 4 or 5 hours of practice in a day, cut my teaching schedule back. And I got the greatest team on the planet at Glen Arbor to just allow me to go ahead and do this. I don't worry about a thing when I'm gone because we've got so many years of experience running golf clubs. We just spread the word of golf,
Rob, how does Kiawah Island play for your game? Is it a good course for you?
Yeah, that's a great question. Yes, it is. I've played the pro member there every year. I go down there for the past 5 or 6 years. We've played the Ocean Course, so I've got a good 6 or 7 rounds, on that golf course. We never play it from all the way back, although I look at the tees that we're playing from and I look back and I say, wow, those are some long tees. So especially when that wind is blowing. I know we played there in March this year and the wind was kicking up about 28 miles per hour. I think there's I forget which hole it is. It's either the 3rd or the 7th. It's a short par 4, about 350 yards, which I was hitting 3-wood to the front on the last few years. And then this year I hit driver 6-iron. So the wind can wreak havoc out there. So it was in great shape. So it's going to be a great test of golf, and just can't wait to get out there and put my game against what the course has to offer.
So as you know the group here pretty well, Rob, the question I always, and we're all probably too shy to ask, but what should we do, us not so good golfers, being a great teacher that you are, to begin, to help ourselves for the beginning of the season? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, it depends how much golf you've been playing coming up to the season. If you're coming out of the winter season cold and you haven't played any golf, start with your short game. Start with putting. Putt the hole from a foot or 2 feet. Make the putts longer and longer. When you've mastered your 50-footer, in about 10 minutes, then go to chipping, and then go to pitching. When you've done that for another 5 minutes, you can go to your full swing. No, but if you could take your time, putt for a half hour, get used to just feeling the ball come off the face. Then hit some chips and pitches. And remember, keep your lower body really still when you're doing this sort of thing. For chips and pitches. And then as you start to get gradually into some bigger swings, just feel your base underneath you and make some half swings where you're just maybe off a tee, where you're just trying to hit the ball solid, make solid contact, get your confidence up a little bit. And obviously, if your confidence goes up, then start making some 3/4 to full swings and then go out and play, because it's all about just getting out there on the golf course and social distancing still and just playing the sport we love,
What's the worst thing we can do?
The worst thing you can do is go right on the range and start full swings.
That's what I thought.
Having coming out and not stretched, not warmed up, not foam rolled, not done anything athletic, and then going out and start ripping the golf from a poor setup. You'll hurt your back, you'll hurt your arm, you'll put yourself out, you'll hurt your shoulder, you'll hit your wrist. And then, the surgeons in the area will have some extra business and you'll be out not playing golf, stuck inside wearing a mask.
Yep, there you go.
You mentioned Glen Arbor before, Rob. So, we had some snow this winter. The course is in great shape. Team is good.
Man, course is in great shape. Our superintendent, our head guy, Joe Geekus, is just shredding that place. It looks awesome. We played our opening tournament on Saturday, and our greens are already major championship speed. So the fairways are perfect. He did so much tree work over the winter, cleaning the place up, fixing the drainage. I am a huge fan of this man and his team and what he's been able to accomplish in the past 3 years. And it's just going to continue to prosper because, we got memberships doing great. It's just a solid place. I mean, if you want to get better at golf, 6 acres of short game, 18-hole golf course, fabulous food and drink, and an indoor-outdoor teaching facility that's open year-round. Come on, what else do you need?
Rob, I'm curious about congrats again on Logan. That's tremendous. And
Hey, Dave, thanks.
You're welcome. Your thoughts on the Masters, because it seemed like a lot of people felt like there wasn't a lot of sizzle behind the Masters this year.
Well, I mean, if you were in Japan, you'd see plenty of sizzle. I mean, that's what happens when someone from the United States doesn't win the tournament. But I mean, golly, are you kidding me? To be the first Japanese player to win the Masters. I mean, my hat's off to Hideki Matsuyama. Played awesome, handled the pressure, true champion. I'm sure it'll be his first of many, and super proud of that Japan. Over there, they're. I'm sure he's doing every talk show known to man over there.
He's almost as popular as you, Rob, right now. But,
yeah, yeah, sure.
All right. So going along that same track for a second, you're looking at the PGA Tour, and you're obviously going to play against these guys in a few weeks. But who should we keep our eye on, just as golf viewers in the golf world? Who's some of the guys that we should be keeping an eye on for coming up for maybe even Ryder Cup team or other championships coming up? Are there some golfers you keep your eye on?
You know what? I mean, listen, again, as the hybrid golf player / coach / instructor business guy, as a player, I don't keep my eye on anybody. I want to keep my eye on the golf course and what's going on out there. As a coach, you keep your eye on the top guys that are winning. Keep the guys that play well in the wind. You look at a guy like, oh God, I don't know who's played so well in the last few majors. I mean, like Xander Schauffele. You got a great ball striker like Tommy Fleetwood. Webb Simpson always seems to claw his way up to the top of the leaderboard. Of course, Dustin Johnson's always there. I mean, there's a plethora of guys to watch and just be wowed by how far they hit the ball and what they can do with a golf ball. But it's going to be a test of patience out there, and it really depends on the weather and the wind. If the wind is blowing, it's a totally different animal. If the wind's not blowing, it should be just your fun sort of tour event where they're going to be making a lot of birdies.
There you go. We like birdies. All right.
Birdies are fun.
So now I'm doing my research, and obviously my favorite website is the roblabritz.com line, but you have something that actually I watch is the Minute Video Series. Tell our audience about that, because I think sometimes if you can actually watch that, you can learn. So to our point earlier about, what are you going to do when you first go out? Maybe you sit down and watch some of the Labritz videos and then go out. So tell us a little bit about them.
Yeah, so the Rob Labritz Minute, it's just, I've got 30 some odd years of just coaching experience. I've been playing since I'm 4. I'll be turning 50 May 31st. I try to condense all of my knowledge, what I've learned, from my time on the golf course, playing in majors and tournaments, from watching the best players in the world on the golf course, playing in tournaments, playing with them, talking to their coaches, talking. So, I kind of think of it as the Cliff Notes for golf. I try to put something really quick in there in a minute, make you understand it really fast, and something that you can get done and just understand it's not, people don't want to look at videos for 2 minutes, 5 minutes. They don't have time to do that. So keep it under a minute, get some good tips, and there'll be some good tips coming from Kiwo when I get out there. So keep your eyes peeled to roblabritz.com and my social media stuff. It should be fun.
Well, it's got some tips coming from there. I'm definitely tuning in for those.
That'll be a good time, definitely, because hopefully the wind blows a few times and, get to show you guys what it's like to play out in the ocean course, the wind's blowing, and, show you some pretty good scenery too out there. It's a beautiful spot.
That's very cool. So what else is going on in the Brits after the PGA? Obviously, you got Glen Arbor. Is there any other big events coming up in 2021 that we should be aware of?
Yeah, well, I've got sectionals, the U.S. Open coming up. I'll be trying to qualify for my first senior U.S. Open. And then, the senior events that follow on top of that, Dick's Sporting Goods up in Endicott, New York. And then, my section schedule, and depending on how well I play in all these events, could open up some doors for some other events. So the greatest thing about Glen Arbor is the club is 100% behind me. We've been, they're so proud of kind of like, just where I'm bringing golf for the club. And I just love doing it. So I love every aspect of my job, from being there, to coaching, to just making sure that operation runs flawlessly. And it's just a blessed life, and having a ton of fun doing it.
You're always the most upbeat guy, Rob. You do such a great job of bringing such positivity whenever we get to connect with you. And I really appreciate that from you.
Oh, my pleasure. I've heard people say that I'm a pretty positive guy over as I get older in my life. I look around and just, all we have is our health, and we got the minute that we're we got the minute we're right here. So, I'm learning as I'm getting older, and I'm just grabbing every minute that I can, and looking forward to it, and trying to pay it forward to as many people as I can, because, if we could all do that to each other, it would the world would be a much, much better place.
For sure.
It would indeed, my friend. So tell our audience one more time where they can get all this cool information about Rob Labritz, and, give us the website again, and I know if they can reach you.
Yeah, cool. So the website needs to be updated. I'm not going to lie, but roblabritz.com. Check it out. I got to throw up my new schedule on there. My social media channels, I'm pretty active on Instagram. So it's Rob Labritz Golf. Twitter kind of is linked to the Instagram. I'm not a big Twitter guy, but they're linked together. So, it goes on that platform too. I'm a troller in TikTok. I don't have a profile, but I love to watch it. And then I don't know why I get sucked into that thing. But those are the main social media outlets. I'm going to try to do some stuff with the YouTube channel that I've got, but all this is just time. And all those other areas that kind of take away from me practicing is hard for me to give up. So but the Instagram thing will probably be the best. Instagram and Twitter.
Thank you again for joining us. Best to Carrie and the family, and also good luck in Kiwa. We're going to be rooting for you. You got fans right here in the clubhouse, always rooting for you, Rob. Thanks so much for being in the clubhouse. We'll see you soon.
Rob.
Hey, I appreciate that. Thank you, gents. Hey, can I just do one more shout
Absolutely.
out? My son Matthias got into LSU. He's going to be
Nice.
He's going to be a Tiger in the fall, and very proud of him, and just want to give him a shout out. That know how proud I am of him and what he's trying to accomplish.
I will let Amanda know that.
Yeah, I know. She was there helping when I was gone. That's for sure.
Many years ago.
You got that right.
Thanks, Rob. Appreciate it, man.
Thanks, Rob.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you,
Talk
Rob.
to you soon. Dave,
All right.
Rob, Mark, thanks.
Hey, Rob, good luck.
Got it, Rob.
Thanks, guys.
Would you guys like a quick update on what's happening in the Ranger game? Because it's unbelievable what's going on.
Sure, go ahead.
Sure.
The three forwards at the beginning of the game, puck dropped 3 fights right off the bat.
Yeah.
As
you
soon as
knew that
Wilson
was
hit
coming.
the ice, they went after him. Smith went after him. There's been 2 fights since then. There are more people in the penalty box right now in the penalty box than there are on the bench. It's unbelievable.
And of course, that's leading up to the clubhouse report, the discussion of Tom Wilson and the mess that he is with, and what the Rangers mess has turned into. So just to give you an idea of what.
And the Adler will want to chime in on this as well. So
Yeah.
Absolutely true. Absolutely true. Where would you like to go?
I think we should take a break.
Break it is 7:25. Away we go for that break as we continue on the Clubhouse on 1490 AM, 105.5 FM, and WGCH.com.
Greg met his mother at their week.
I love Brian Piccolo.
There are 6 Capitals in the penalty box. 3 of them are sitting and 3 of them are standing. It's unbelievable.
Hey, Rob, you could stand and turn yours up a bit.
Okay.
And I don't blame the Rangers. I mean, this is like what do they have to lose?
I agree. I very much agree. In fact,
Are they like 10-minute penalties or just like, well, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
5 for fighting. These were legitimate fights. All 6 of them, 6 or 7. I lost count. I don't think they're gonna be the last ones either. Let's see the goalies get into it. That's always fun when the goalies fight.
Okay, 10 seconds.
1490 WGCH and WGCH.com anywhere. We're back on the Clubhouse at 7:26. Rob, Dave, Mark, and Bob, and I am watching the final 5 seconds of Brunswick as they play the number 2 school in the country in lacrosse, and they have just lost by a score of 12-11. So just a little breaking news for you, gentlemen.
Which is who? Who
Deerfield.
Okay. Oh, Deerfield Academy.
Yeah. Yep. Good school, good program, and that one is over 12-11. Brunswick, good comeback, but very low scoring in that fourth quarter. No shot clock in high school or prep school lacrosse, and that matters.
No, I bet.
So David, what's new and exciting in Manhattanville?
Manhattanville, we are literally finishing our spring semester this week and next. And we are rolling into summer after Memorial Day, starting with a class taught by somebody by the name of Mark Jeffers. I don't know if anybody has ever heard of him.
I'm looking forward to it, and we'll be discussing that in the next show, I think, because I'll be promoting it for members of the class. Yes.
But I think the thing I'd like to share with you is that, we have some really sensational alumni from our program. And if we just looked at the women who have graduated, who are now in with the Yankees, USTA, Torrey Pines. These, we have met PGA. So I guess I would like to highlight that for tonight. Just say, we have some really sensational alumni from the program.
Well, I know that I've taught some of them, and they are outstanding. But I will say this, Dave. Sometimes you're awfully shy because this program would be nothing without you, and so we always joke about different things, but it's given a lot of people in the sports business a chance to learn and get some good jobs. So that's congratulations, hats off to you.
I agree.
Well, thank you, appreciate that. It really is. It's a byproduct of our adjunct professors in our network. So thank you.
All right, so you know what? I'm going to do my commercial here for our friends at Splash.
I love this.
By the way, Bob Small, in case you didn't know, spring is here. I know, and your car's finish needs help. Splash Car Wash to the rescue. They have wash and detail services designed to remove the harmful salt, sand, and dirt from your car and get it looking great again. Their detail services can help restore that faded finish or clean out the insides of your car. And here's one better. The Splash Unlimited Club. Wash your car as much as you want for one low monthly price. This is perfect for spring and pollen season, which gosh knows it's here, where your car will be continually coated in green. The Unlimited Club lets you wash when you want and save money. That's unlimited washing at the best car wash around, Splash, located at 570 North Bedford Road in Bedford Hills. And there you have it. I'm going to do my car wash tomorrow, I think.
I thought that was another terrific read.
I'm going to start giving you $5 on a weekly basis.
Okay, I'll take it.
Just for those promotions, just for those compliments. Because I had to pay for my compliments now.
I enjoy it. I enjoy complimenting.
This year, right? The pollen is really. I mean,
it really was. I mean, it's brutal. Went outside the other day and my car was green and it's actually red. But it was. We have Andy Adler standing by in the wings, I hope, and we'll be coming back to her. Rob, what's new and exciting with you? Everything is good?
Everything is good with me. I have been to the ballpark a couple of times this week to say hello and start setting up the booth. So that's exciting. Went up there, in fact, and kind of cleaned it out today. Just, because it hasn't been used in the past couple of years because obviously things with COVID. But, good to get up there and start getting a feeling for what it's going to be like this summer up in Dutchess County.
Now, I will say this, and we'll promote it before at the end of the show, but also the president and general manager of Hudson Valley Renegades, Steve Gliner, will be joining us on the May 19th show. And I'm looking forward to catching up with him. And, you know, I'm so happy that you're doing the announcing, but I'm also happy that it's a New York Yankee. I mean, as a Yankee fan, I'm happy for that.
I am as well. As I look over at the Renegades, they're playing in Jersey Shore, Lakewood, New Jersey tonight, and they go top of the second, no score down there. They lost on opening night last night, 6-2. And remember, they're playing 6-game series all throughout minor leagues this year, so it's weird, but it's what we're going to do to make it happen.
Wow.
Yep.
And
Cuts
how many
down on travel.
games-
That's the good news.
How many games is the season?
We're all playing 120 throughout minor league baseball. Yep.
That's a good number.
It's a good number. Hopefully they'll go higher in the future, but right now it's going to be just 120.
Yeah.
Well, I understand from Bob Small that we have a very, very special guest on the line. So let me introduce her. My favorite TV sports anchor and our favorite TV sports anchor, Andy Adler, is the sports anchor for PIX 11 and host of PIX 11 Sports Nation Sundays at 11 o'clock. Andy, welcome back to the clubhouse.
Well, it's great to be here, guys. You know, I always love talking to you.
All right, before we look at this wild and crazy New York sports landscape, which we could be on a 2-hour show right now, tell our audience a little bit about this great new weekly sports show, Sports Nation.
Well, we just launched a couple weeks ago. It's Sunday nights at 11 o'clock, and it's a full hour of New York sports. So everything from, what's happening in the week, what's happening that day, Yankees, Mets, Nets, Knicks, Rangers, Devils, Islanders, the whole thing. And it also incorporates my one-on-one. So every week I do a one-on-one interview with someone who is, going beyond just the X's and O's of their sports. So superstar athlete, but really who are they as people? So 11 to midnight on Sunday nights on Channel 11. And it's been really fun. And it's been really fun listening, hearing from the New York sports fans, because, that's why I do what I do. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so in doing my research, Andy, I came across the Sports Nation playbook. So our audience on the Clubhouse needs to know some of the questions that they asked you in the playbook. Like one of such would be your favorite game day food.
Oh, okay. Okay, so my favorite game day, that would have to be chilaquiles. And people are like, what are chilaquiles? If you don't know what that is, basically, it's basically tortillas with cheese and hot sauce. It's all it's just, my mom used to make it all the time, and it's just phenomenal. So is that a yes? Is that a yes? I hear the reaction there. Yeah, you guys will love it. Go on YouTube and you can Google and see how to make it. It's pretty simple. It doesn't take a lot of skill, and it's pretty fantastic.
I like that.
That's a good one for Cinco de Mayo for sure.
There you go.
Exactly. Yeah, that's right. Feliz Cinco de Mayo, guys.
And that's why we brought up the foods, and we knew it was good. All right. The other question, and it's going back to the playbook again. Then we're going to go back, and we need to talk about the sport landscape in a second. But the most memorable sports moment you've seen.
Ooh.
Okay, so there have been many, but I would say the one that really comes to mind, gosh, that's a tough one. I would have to say Giants 2008 Super Bowl, Giants Patriots. It was the 2007-2008 season. And I was in Arizona for this one. And I can just remember my heart jumping out of my body, not literally, but I felt every single emotion you could feel with Tyree. And I remember, being on the field with the confetti falling and interviewing. I remember the interviews I did, but it's all it feels like a dream. You know that feeling when you're like, this was not totally real, but I remember being so tired because we had worked, morning, night, morning, night, morning, night. And I just remember it was like such a high, not even feeling tired, and interviewing Eli after the game, and Plexico Burris and Tyree and Brandon Jacobs and all those. That was just such a surreal, phenomenal moment. Beating the Patriots, the quote perfect team, and the Giants being road warriors, just such good memories. It's that, and also I'd say the Yankees 09, being on the field after they win the World Series, and just the emotion and I don't think it gets better than getting champagne poured on your head by Mariano Rivera and Andy Pettit, and it's just good memories. I mean, I seriously, when I talk about it, it's just, people ask me why New York sports is so special to me. It's because, these memories, they make up a landscape. And I think that everyone can kind of relate in that there is, it comes down to memories. And I think that's why when sports fans talk to me a little bit about, whether it's the Yankees or the Mets, or whether it's, a Knicks memory, they have these memories that they can talk about, whether it's with their dads or their moms or, their kids. It's always somehow sports related. And so I have, so yeah, you're getting me a little nostalgic here. I want to make some new memories though. I mean, I'm so ready to see another championship here in New York. It's time, guys. It's time.
Yeah. I think we're all ready for that. And this is Dave Chiromio, by the way. And to your point, I mean, I've been in the Garden for Knick playoff games in previous years, and hearing the Garden rock like no other place in the world can rock. And this is coming from an Islander fan, and that's the Coliseum can rock as well. But it's kind of nice seeing the Knicks doing what they're doing this year. Don't you think?
Absolutely. I think, and you mean specifically with the Knicks in terms of what the direction things they're heading. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I mean direction, and obviously they're they're very competitive, but they seem likable to me. I know the Nets are very good, but I mean, to me, the Knicks just seem like a more likable team.
Yeah, I like that you say it. It's true. I mean, I feel like, and I say this on air, but I think initially when the Nets made all those moves, which were phenomenal moves, but I called it the ego experiment, because you're bringing these superstars, they're all playing together, and it's like, okay, let's see how this chemistry works. And fortunately, it's worked well. But it was an experiment. Whereas with the Knicks, very little ego there. It's just a situation where you got guys like Julius, just absolutely remarkable, and seeing that talent come out there, and they're all hustling out there. I mean, they're all out there working as a team, which is what you want. And it sounds totally cliche, but it's been, you're right. It's been great to watch it, and they are likable. You want to root for them.
Andy, it's Rob, and always a pleasure to talk to you.
Hey, Rob.
When we're so used to the Knicks being the dysfunctional side of the Garden, and right now, oh my gosh, what is going on with the Rangers?
Wow.
I mean, you want to call it a bloodbath? You want to call it I mean, like, what do you want to call it? It is wild, and I don't, it's a wild situation. Timing is interesting. Only 3 games left in this season. Again, Rangers didn't make the playoffs for the 4th straight time, and I can't blame James Dolan for being impatient, because this is New York, and normally Mr. Dolan lets the Rangers do what they do, and the focus is more on the Knicks. But I think he's sick of seeing his team not succeed. And by success, I mean, ultimately it comes down to, it's really that simple. I mean, it's that simple. It comes down to a championship, and it's time. And I think he's over it. So yeah, absolute bloodbath today. When I saw the news earlier, I thought, okay, gonna be a busy day, and it has been. But never like to see anyone lose their job, obviously. But hopefully, the Rangers can have more success moving forward.
All right, I'm going to turn to football for a second, Andy. And I watched your cast this earlier this evening, and you mentioned Aaron Rodgers. So my question is there any chance that
I
Aaron
know where you're
could
going.
come to New York as a Giant or a Jet?
Never say never. And I would not be shocked with if Dave Gettleman decides to get a little crazy here, and I say crazy in a good way. I mean, he sort of changed his tune. I think that initially it was double down on Daniel Jones is our guy, and then over the last couple of days, he sort of changed his tune a little bit, saying sort of kind of all eyes open without saying those words. So nothing would shock me, and I think things could get real interesting in the next little bit of time. But yeah, Aaron Rodgers is certainly not holding back as to how he feels. What I want to know, and what I'm referring to, and for people who don't know what we're referring to. So Aaron Rodgers has been pretty clear that he is not happy with the Packers. Okay, but he's not happy with the Packers, specifically the Packers GM. And then today news comes out that in text messages with teammates, like a chain within his teammates, that he's referring to Packers GM as Jerry Krause. Not a compliment, being that we know the history there with the Bulls. And yes, he had a lot of success with the Bulls, but he also made the team basically fall apart. And so, these text messages, now they're being reported and it's in the media. I enjoy it because I'm in the media. So I'm like, oh, this is fascinating. But you got to wonder who's leaking these text messages and which teammate is doing this. Like it's the shady stuff, because I always say there's got to be a circle of trust there. So, but yeah, to answer your question, anything could happen. Right now, obviously, everything is speculation, but I would not be surprised at all. Not at all.
Wow.
All right. So last night, what a crowd at Yankee Stadium. It was crazy. What do you think about the Yankees? And are you worried about, and Dave will ask this question, I'm sure, are you worried about Lindor and the Mets?
Okay, well, as far as what I think about the Yankees, so great watching them play against the Astros. I said it last on the newscast. I had written it in my calendar as Yankees play cheaters. And it's, it's part of why I love New York sports fans, because it's so, it sounds super corny, but there's such a passion there. And I think there's nothing better than that. So yeah, it was pretty fantastic to see that kind of energy out at the stadium. And as far as the Mets, am I worried about Lindor? Yeah, I'm worried about Lindor. I am. I think that New York is a different entity, and it's early. It's really early, and he could absolutely break out of this slump. And I don't know Lindor personally. I don't have that relationship with him, but from what I know, from what his teammates tell me, they genuinely like him. They genuinely believe in him, and you can blame whoever you want for this. Yesterday or 2 days ago, 2 nights ago, when they fired their pitching or their hitting coaches, you can blame who you want. I think ultimately New York is a different animal, and we have seen that over and over again, where successful players in other markets come to New York, and it's not so successful. Yeah. And so I'm really, really rooting for him. And I think, but again, patience is not something that, I'm not in the business of patience. New York sports fans, y'all shouldn't be patient. There's no need to be this is New York. There's no, I know a lot of people preach patience, but in this case, when you pay someone over $300 million in a contract to come here and win, you don't have a whole lot of patience. So yeah, I am concerned, and I hope that he turns things around and real quickly, because it does work in a cycle. I find that winning begets more winning, and losing, once your confidence is taken away, with Sam Darnold, I think of Sam, and that's a guy who I also, Sam, I did have a relationship with personally, where I got to know him and rooted for him. And, I consider him a friend after a while, because when you cover someone for a few years and get to know them, they become, they can, if they're good people, they can become friends over time. And that confidence is gone. And when the confidence is completely deteriorated, so much of that plays a factor. I do believe in that mental aspect of the game. I think it's huge. And I think that Francisco Lindor is losing that confidence. And I hope but it's, there's still hope. There's still a lot of hope, and it's still very early in the season.
I'll just tackle this one from a fan of a lifetime fan of the New York Mets, Jets, Islanders, and Knicks. That the closest championship I have is 35 years ago. And, I mean, so if you're asking for patience, my answer is no. I have no patience with any of it. These guys have the Yankees, and Mark has the Giants, and Rob has the Steelers. I mean, I grew up on the wrong side of the tracks. I got all the losers.
Oh, David.
I respect the loyalty.
Oh, that's Andy. One thing you should know: Dave is loyal, and
I am loyal.
Before we let you
One
go,
of my favorite
Andy, I need to ask a little bit about, because not only are you a great sportscaster, but also you give back to the community so much. So can you tell our audience a little bit about some of the charity work that you're doing and any upcoming events? And I know you've worked a lot with children's rights. So tell our audience a little bit about how they can help and what's going on there.
Well, I appreciate that. And yeah, I think for me, children-related causes, that's where my heart is. And I always feel like that's, essentially you got to be the voice for the voiceless. And I think there's two specific charities. It's the Children's Health Fund, which has done remarkable work, and also the World of Children. And those two foundations are just, they do things for, it's like doing the right thing when no one's looking. The people behind both organizations, they're just doing the right thing when no one's looking. They don't get a lot of attention for it. So anytime I can kind of, I'm not doing the kind of work they're doing. And I feel like if there's one thing I can do is maybe give them a little bit of attention so that people can, go look it up and see how they can get involved. So anytime I can say the words Children's Health Fund, anytime I can say World of Children, look it up. It's both wonderful organizations, and thank you for letting me talk about both of them. Of
course. And we're looking forward to, I'm going to watch, obviously, at PIX 11 Sports, but also Sports Nation. So we're looking forward to this the show coming up on Sunday. I can't thank you enough for joining us on the Clubhouse, Andy. As always, a great guest. Thank you so much.
Well, it's absolutely my pleasure. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me. And I will look forward to doing this again soon, guys.
All right.
Bye,
Take care.
Andy.
Thanks, Andy.
Bye, guys. Bye.
Coming up
We'll
on
take a quick break, and then we'll come back with the Clubhouse report.
7:49 it is. We take that break. 1490 AM, 105.5 FM, and WGCH.com.
Sue and her wife Helen meet their son.
My God, she is nice. Just such a nice, down-to-earth person. She really is.
I know, then she is.
She's amazing.
That's why she's our favorite sport now. She's my favorite sport.
I don't know that I have another one. So she would be it.
Well, besides, Rob Adams and Bob Small and Dave Toromio, those are my.
Oh, of course.
Well, we don't. I don't at least fall in that category. I mean, it's
pouring at the stadium, by the way.
Pouring, is it?
Well, I'd imagine it's in the Clubhouse report. Just give me. I'm going to look for an update. Even if it's bad, David, I know, but I just want to.
All right.
Are the Renegades in your Clubhouse report?
Or politics, Greenwich Matters every Thursday night at 6 on 1490 and 105.5 WGCH.
Back with you on the Clubhouse, and I'm so glad we've got enough time because we need, beyond the shadow of a doubt, to strike up the band. Dun, 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 dun.
The Clubhouse Report with your host, Mark Jeffers.
All right, so you know, I always say this, but we need to get more crowd noise. I mean, I think we're getting like 3 people and jack-o'-lantern or something out there. I'm not sure what. But anyways, thank you, Rob, Bob, and Dave, and welcome to the Clubhouse Report. In a shocking turn of events, and Andy mentioned this briefly, the New York Rangers fired team president John Davidson and general manager Jeff Gorton today. The Rangers are scheduled to host the Washington Capitals, and Dave talked about this earlier tonight. With only 3 games remaining in their season, they are officially eliminated from the playoff contention following Monday's 6-3 loss to the Capitals. Dave, is there anything new on the update on that? Everyone's in the penalty box.
The game is 0-0. It has been a very chippy game. There's been at least 7 fights. Wilson has been, I think he's been ejected. He's at least been, he went to the locker room. So it's nasty, but there's no score.
I will add that the Rangers and the Garden are an embarrassment. I don't entirely agree. And I love Andy. She's great. I don't entirely agree with the impatient part of it. I didn't think JD got a fair shake because he had this team on the right path, in my opinion. But that being said, this is on the NHL for the way they handled Tom Wilson.
Rob, do you think, I'm sorry to interrupt, Mark, but do you think?
No, I would agree with Rob on that.
Yeah, but do you think it had to do with the statement that came out?
I thought it did initially,
Yeah.
but then I read a later statement, tweet that said it had nothing to do with the statement and it had more to do with Dolan being, as Andy said, impatient and not happy with the way the team ran this year. I believe
Andy's correct about that. I think that this was not related to the statements, but rather he wants to win tomorrow.
Well,
Yes.
but if that's what he wants you to believe, I'm just playing devil's advocate. So
Yeah.
There you go.
And the new president and GM is
Chris Drury.
Chris Drury, correct.
There you go. All right, now turning some NHL action on the ice. The playoff-bound New York Islanders lost last night in a shootout to Buffalo Sabres 4-3. They host the Devils tomorrow night with a 7:00 face-off. The Devils slipped past the Boston Bruins last night 4-3. Dave, how you feeling?
I will just say this about the Islanders, and people say it's a hangover from clinching. I don't believe that. I think they were outplayed by Buffalo. So I see the Islanders in 2 ways. The team that I saw play the Rangers twice, I could see advancing deep into the playoffs. The team that I watched the last 2 nights against Buffalo will get knocked out in the first round. So I don't know what to expect. They played like crap. I think they know that. I do still like Trotz, but I don't know if this team has enough to do it.
All right, this year's Kentucky Derby saw a close finish, with Medina Spirit pulling off an upset to win the first race of the Triple Crown. At 12-1 odds, Medina Spirit pulled off a shocking win and took home a $1,860,000 purse. This win also put trainer Bob Baffert in the record books as he now stands alone for the most wins at the Run for the Roses with 7 victories at the race. And this, Justin, the Belmont Stakes will limit attendance to 11,000 spectators for the third leg of Horses Triple Crown.
Oof.
It was a good race. Baffert's pretty cool. And 11,000 is a good thing, I think, for the Belmont Stakes.
11,000 in that place is going to look like it's empty.
And such mixed messages considering New York has thrown some more doors open just today, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
So I'm confused, but okay.
Well, that's what Belmont came out with that. It may just because they'll probably be limited. If you watch the Kentucky Derby, there was very limited masks. But again, hopefully everybody was vaccinated.
And 51,000.
Baseball actions on night, and we talked about this, on a night when the Boo Birds never stopped chirping, the New York Yankees gave a sellout crowd of over 10,000 something to cheer about. In their first head-to-head matchup since details of the Astros sign-stealing scandal broke a year ago, the Yankees stole the show with a 7-3 win over Houston. The two battle again tonight at the stadium with a 7:05 first pitch or boo. Update.
No score, third inning. The Astros have 2 on right now.
All righty.
I thought there were some really good posters and banners and ingenious things last night by Yankee fans. I loved it. Yeah.
I fully agree with you, David. That was, yes, there was some funny stuff.
Yeah.
And by the way, Claire's boyfriend Steve was there, so he was he was my reporter.
All right.
PIX got rained out last night in St. Louis. They'll try again tonight with a doubleheader. The first game was set to start at 5:15. I know we have an update, so Rob or Dave, what do we have in the Met scores? Anything?
Nope, nothing. 8:15 first pitch, as you said. So
Yeah. No, there's two games. So the first game, the last I saw before we came in, they were losing 2-1 in the first game, and they stink. They stink.
That's one way to
Call
put
it
it.
a spade, they stink.
As we were talking about Andy earlier, the Brooklyn Nets dropped their second straight game to the Milwaukee Bucks, losing last night 124-118. The Nets travel to Dallas tomorrow night to face the Mavericks with a 7:30 tip-off. The New York Knicks continue their crucial road trip tonight in Denver with a 9 o'clock start. And again, I'm excited for both teams being in the playoffs.
Me too.
I'm excited for the Knicks.
On the track in NASCAR action, Kyle Busch celebrated his 36th birthday by winning a 2-lap sprint to the finish at the Kansas Speedway. And in Major League Soccer action, the second place NYFC traveled to Orlando on Saturday for a 6 o'clock match, and the 1 and 2 Red Bulls host Toronto at 1 o'clock also on Saturday. And over on the links, Sam Burns finished first at the 2021 Valspar Championship at Innisbrook Resort for his first PGA Tour win. Congratulations to him. He shot a 17 under for the week, which is pretty close to the tournament record. And that, my friend, will wrap it up for this week's Clubhouse Report. Rob, back to you.
Outstanding. Cardinals beat the Mets 4-1, and in Jersey Shore, the Hudson Valley Renegades with a 3-0 victory, 3-0 lead after 2.
Let's go, Renegades! Woohoo!
There you go. So happy to get those couple of notes in. And
I
no
should- I
scores
should
for-
add-
in 2 weeks.
I should add that, by the way, those that are going to stick around to WGCH after the clubhouse will be hearing the Red Sox.
Ah.
All right, that's enough. I said enough.
No, but Bob, you know what? The Red Sox are playing pretty good baseball.
It's
Oh,
an
I know.
Outback moment.
They are.
They're not probably getting the same ratings as the clubhouse gets, but they're probably doing okay.
Who does?
It's true.
That's
Who
right.
does?
So 2 weeks.
Go ahead.
Earl
2
of Pro
weeks.
Monroe going to join us for some NBA analysis for the playoffs. And I think I mentioned it earlier, but Steve will be joining us as well from Hudson Valley Renegades.
Steve Gliner will join us, the president and GM.
And there might be a surprise guest. You never know.
Ooh, might be a surprise guest. That sounds good to me. I like the sound of that. That'll be good. And by the time we reconvene, those very same Renegades will open their home schedule, which will be quite exciting.
I'm wondering now, do we know, and you may not know this, Rob, but since there's going to be, again, more open in the outdoor arenas, will the Renegades be open now pretty much to 100% with vaccination?
I'll tell you, I don't know. I saw Steve Gliner today, and I said, Steve, what does this news mean? He said, we're still not sure ourselves. That we have different things governing us. We certainly have the state of New York. We have Dutchess County, but MLB and MILB also have rules. So it's the rules we have to abide by among all of those, basically.
And while you're talking about the Renegades, I just want to a shout out to Kristen Huss, who is on our advisory board at Manhattanville, but also was a longtime Renegades employee who took a new job with Lego World or whatever it is. So, but
Legoland.
Legoland. That's what I was going to say.
Up in Goshen, New York. So yes, it's going to be a great. She'll be. By the way, Dave, you're right. She'll be a wonderful in that position.
Yeah,
She will be great there. She is an outstanding person, and she's part of the reason I've got this job starting, officially starting next Tuesday. Although I guess I did start it when I started writing last night. But yeah, she was a big advocate for me getting that play-by-play job. So I'm a big fan of Kristen. Mark, we are done.
I was just going to say, I've invited her to join us in the clubhouse at some point to talk about Legoland because she should.
I hope she does. I hope she does indeed. That'll do it for this edition. 2 weeks. We will see you then. We will be back in business with Earl the Pearl Monroe, Steve Gliner, and maybe a mystery guest. You never know. Our thanks to all our guests tonight. For Bob Small, Dave Toromio, Mark Jeffers, I'm Rob Adams saying so long from the clubhouse on 1490 AM, 105.5 FM, and WGCH.com. Good night, everyone.